comedy that violates all boundaries of good taste. And it's basically the premise, Sammy. Get this. Have you heard of My Son?
No.
What you're about to check out is a little sit down I had with Sammy Yunin of My Summer Lair and Heidy M of Heidy's Musing during our epic and super silly Tiff breakdown. And here's a section where we talk about my favorite circle of Tiff, Midnight Madness. We mention a few crazy films, but there is much more. For more details on Midnight Madness and other Tiff films, visit tiff.net for tickets and screening dates. And until then, here's a couple recommendations.
Maybe let's
this?
do some Midnight Madness.
Yeah. Speaking of going into things blindly, a lot of the Midnight Madness stuff are world premieres. A lot of them don't even have a trailer. It's just a picture.
Yes.
But there's 3 I'm most excited about, and I wrote them down. One is an action movie called The Furious, and this is for people who love shit like The Raid Redemption. This has like one of the actors in it, has just like the director is just really well known for that vicious fight choreography that makes you scream and squirm. And last year at Tiff, I watched another Midnight Madness called The Shadow Strays.
Yes.
Again, in the same vein. If you haven't watched that and like these style of movies, go on Netflix, watch The Shadow Strays. I know it wasn't really advertised, but that was my favorite action movie of last year.
Tons of ruckus.
Oh yeah, it was nuts, and it was long, but it doesn't feel long. It was insane. Yeah. So again, that movie doesn't have a or The Furious doesn't have a trailer.
Yeah.
But there's just like one picture of like a guy like doing like a dive in the air with like a knife, and I'm like, I'm in. Let's go.
I like all those things.
Yeah. So yeah, just the names behind it, everything. I know it's gonna be just like The Shadow Strays, just like The Raid, shit like that. So it's gonna be amazing.
I will say that I'm also a Midnight Madness person, so I'm glad you picked that one because it has people. The director is somebody who's done Flashpoint and SPL, so those are 2 films that I'm familiar with. So I know they're gonna bring it, and I think the crowd is gonna be really fun.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, another thing too, I just want to take a moment and talk about Midnight Madness.
Yes.
Even though this has been going on for years, last year was my first time attending it, and I was doing media for other things, and not the Midnight Madness. I was just like, again, saw Shadow Strays. I'm like, oh, I got to see this. And what I love about Midnight Madness is even beyond the film, it is a vibe. It feels like, I don't know, like almost like a punk rock energy in there. You're encouraged to cheer or scream or whatever, like throw things in the air. Like it feels like a rock concert for these films. And last year, like I went to a couple screenings there, and it felt like almost like what I was talking about at the beginning of the show, of like it matched the energy of the stuff I like to cover, whether it's like metal or horror or action stuff. I'm like, yeah, this kind of fits in the creative and balanced vein. So this year I made just a decision. I'm going to go or try my best to go to everyone.
Nice.
And it's not all action and horror too.
Yes.
They got a lot of comedy stuff. There's one, it's kind of seems like a dark comedy, and it's on my my list. It's called Dust Bunny.
Yes.
And I wrote down the description. It's basically a 10-year-old girl who hires a hitman to take care of a monster under her bed. And I'm like, again, no trailer. I'm like, I'm in for that.
Yes.
And
that's got some shades of like Psycho Gorman.
Yeah,
I love
definitely.
Psycho Gorman.
Yeah, that was another really fun film too. Another one I felt that was under the radar and just brilliant. But then the third one I got written down, Sammy, you were actually telling me you were interested in it as well. It's called Junk World.
Yeah.
And it's Japanese stop motion animation. This is the international premiere for it. And yeah, it just seems like it's got like this moody vibe to it, which I really love. It kind of like from the picture, it reminds me of a video game I love called Nier Automata. I'm all in. And like, Sammy, what do you find interesting about it?
I just thought it was just really cool just to have like stop motion, but from like a different country. right? Because we grew up with claymation and stop motion from like basically America or Canada, right? So I want to see what a different country, especially one like Japan, which has a whole history of like anime and different things like that. I want to see how they like put it through that lens and what they do with it, right? Like that's what you're talking about with Midnight Madness. Is like you get like a whole view of something that's like crazy. Like it's you got to wear like a seatbelt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would say I didn't have Junk World on my list for Midnight Madness, but I did have Dust Bunny because Dust Bunny is actually a Brian Fuller film with Mads Mikkelsen as the hitman. So there's my little bit of intel on that one.
Oh,
so
cool.
that's my photobomb opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Do it. Yeah.
I'll try, people. I'll try.
Yeah, and if you're there, I'll see you there. then.
Yeah, we're
hell
gonna
yeah.
line up
We're
and-
overlapping.
Yeah.
You know, be super caffeinated. At least I will be.
Yeah.
Sean, you didn't circle normal?
I know.
Oh, I'm really into that.
Yeah.
And I'm totally down for that. You want to talk about it too?
Yeah.
Because I got
Yeah.
another one to talk about, which I put under an honorable mention.
So normal stars Bob Odenkirk. He actually also co-wrote it as well. But the other writer is Derek Kolstad, who did the John Wick movies.
Oh,
Right? So
yes.
I guess like Odenkirk is going through like an action phase or something, right? Like this guy's like tired of being a nobody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like just loving it.
Yeah.
You know? Like, why not? Sometimes you try
Literally.
something new and you're just like, yeah, I'm about it. Like,
Yeah. So like Odenkirk is always great too. Like he's one of those guys when he shows up, like right. So
He's a great actor, and
Yeah.
he's literally in the film's nobody, right? Like for folks who are trying to picture who he is.
yeah, and it also has Henry Winkler. He's the mayor of the town of Normal. So yeah, so
That sounds like fun.
yeah, so it's Henry Winkler and Bob Odenkirk. So I'm like, yeah, all right, that's in. Like that's worth pants.
I
Yeah.
think that's one of like those Hollywood-ish movies at Midnight Madness. There's usually one or two that come
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the US.
Yeah, it's not
Like that.
Japanese stop motion animation.
Yeah, but that one looks good. Thank you
Yeah,
for
yeah.
telling me because I hadn't looked that one up. So
Yeah.
now I'm like, I'm adding it to my list. Junk World. Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, so
Nice.
that was like kind of like my top three, The Furious, Dust Bunny, and Junk World. But I have one honorable mention.
What is it?
And it's something I don't think I want to see, but after reading the description, I have to see this movie, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
It's called My Son. And I wrote a little blurb from what they wrote, and it's a comedy that violates all boundaries of good taste. And it's basically the premise, Sammy. Get this.
Yeah.
Have you heard of My Son?
No.
Okay, it's an old woman who has a mutant child, and she's trying to get her son laid, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the film.
Okay.
Yeah,
So it's not like me.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
son.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you want to my son, my
right.
monster
Yeah.
son. And that's the prequel to Frankenstein. We're gonna film.
Yeah,
I was gonna
Yeah.
say only
Yeah,
a
yeah.
mother's love
Yeah,
would do
yeah.
that.
Sean, is that what you mentioned a little bit of like, is that what you look for in terms of Midnight Madness? You look for like comedy or carnage or chaos? Like you mentioned a little bit how it fits into your vibe, but is that what you kind of like, is that what makes you go, ooh?
Sometimes it makes me squeam a bit, but I like having a platform where like a lot of these types of films like have like a home where they can just freely talk uncensored. Because for example, like I mentioned at the beginning of this nameless show we got going on,
Yes.
that I did Trailer Park Boys one, and I noticed as Bubbles was doing his media tour to all like the bigger like stations, he was doing his thing, but he wasn't fully Bubbles, you know, like he couldn't swear or whatever. But I like just having a place where people can freely like talk about their art and not have to water it down. And it's even fun for me to like watch something a little crazy, even if I don't like it, just be
Sure.
like, what the is that? Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
And I had a moment like, I don't like the movies, I call them the gore porns, where it's just like shockingly graphic, like
Yes.
people just getting
Yeah,
like
yeah, like
mutilated
Hostel
or
and
whatever.
stuff.
But a lot of people's favorite interviews of mine was one I did around this movie called The Sadness. And it got
Yes.
like the most like hits on my YouTube at the time it came out and stuff like that. But again, I was like watching it with my hands like this. But I just felt like I had so much to talk about. I almost like respected the guy for making me feel that way, you know? And it's like, like, yeah, let's dig into your mind of how you came up with this shit. So.
Yeah.
If you want to check out the full-length talk of our Toronto International Film Festival breakdown, click the link on the screen and sub to the channel for some more exclusive and soulful interviews in the arts and entertainment industry.